glass walls. Night sky, San Francisco burning in neon beneath the penthouse boardroom. Amara Brooks froze mid-step when her boss's gaze locked onto her throat. Woo Kang, Seio Tech's untouchable CEO, didn't blink, didn't breathe. Didn't pretend this was normal. "What did you put on?" he asked quietly. Her fingers rose to the black, diamond choker that had arrived at her desk in a velvet box. No card, no sender. Only a date etched inside the clasp. October 3rd, 2023, her first day working for him, the day her life became his schedule. "It's just jewelry," she said, because assistants survived by lying. Woo crossed the room in 3 silent steps and gripped the clasp. "Who gave you permission to wear something that belongs to my past?" He yanked. A red light blinked. Once. Like an eye-opening. Then a slow electronic beep began. Amara's stomach dropped as the choker tightened, not with metal, but with intention. Woo's voice turned lethal. "Lock this floor. No elevators. No windows. No Woo," she whispered. "What is this?" His jaw clenched, panic flickering for the first time she'd ever seen. "It's not a necklace." The beep continued, and the man who never feared anything finally looked afraid. Because someone had just marked his assistant for death. To force him to bleed. Subscribe to Love and Loyalties before the truth changes everything. The penthouse sealed itself like a tomb. Steel shutters slid down over the glass walls with a hydraulic hiss. Elevators locked. Emergency lights dimmed the room into controlled shadow. Outside, Amara could hear boots. Measured. Disciplined. Woo's men taking positions like this was a siege, not a board meeting. The choker beeped again. Slow. Patient. Amara stood in the center of the room, spine straight, hands clenched at her sides. She refused to panic. Panic dropped heart rates. Panic killed. Woo turned to his security chief without looking away from her. "No one leaves this floor. Phones off grid. Cameras internal only." "Yes, sir." Dae-sung replied, already moving. Only when the doors sealed did Woo step closer to her. "Sit," he ordered. Amara didn't. "What happens if I don't?" she asked quietly. His jaw tightened. "We'll find out together." That was not a threat. That was honesty. She sat. The choker's red light pulsed once, as if acknowledging compliance. Minutes later, the private lift opened and Ryo Nakamura strode in, hair still damp from rain, tablet already glowing. He took one look at Amara's neck and swore under his breath. In Japanese. "That bad?" Amara asked. Ryo didn't soften it. Worse. He circled her slowly, careful not to cross an invisible boundary. Black, diamond casing. Custom clasp. Micro, needle ports hidden under the spine curve. Woo's voice was ice. "Explain it to her." Ryo met Amara's eyes. "It's a 2-part toxin delivery system. Harmless apart. Lethal together. The needles are already primed." Amara inhaled slowly, exhaled slower. "What triggers it?" Ryo tapped his screen. "Forced removal. Tampering. Battery failure, leaving a geo-fenced radius." He hesitated. "And biometric drops." Woo's eyes snapped to him. "Define drops. If your heart rate lowers too fast. If you lose consciousness. If you sleep too deeply." Ryo swallowed. "The device adapts." Amara laughed once. Sharp. Disbelieving. "So I'm not allowed to leave, touch it, or rest. Less." Ryo said. "You're not allowed to be human." Silence fell heavy. Amara turned to Woo. "Why?" The word carried more weight than all the alarms. "Why me?" she pressed. "Who would do this?" Woo didn't answer. That scared her more than the toxin. "Woo," she said, standing despite the warning pulse against her skin. "Look at me." He did. For the first time since she'd known him, his control fractured. Not rage. Not violence. Fear. "I didn't choose this," she said steadily. "But someone did. And they chose me because of you." Ryo's tablet chimed. He frowned. Then went still. "This firmware," he murmured. "I've seen this coding style before." Woo's breath stopped. "No," he said quietly. Ryo looked up. "It's him?" The room tilted. Woo turned away like he'd been struck. His hand pressed flat against the glass wall, knuckles whitening. Kang Min Jun. Ryo continued. The logic loops. The timing patterns. He always builds his traps like theater. Amara's stomach dropped. Your brother. The word landed like a gunshot. He's dead. Han Wu said. Ryo didn't flinch. Then ghosts are getting creative. The choker beeped again. Closer together now. Amara felt it then. The shift. This wasn't random. This wasn't a warning. She wasn't collateral. She was leverage. Han Wu turned back to her, and the distance between them vanished. His hands came up, not touching her neck, never that, but bracketing her space, caging her against the desk. From this moment on, he said low, you follow every rule I give you. Amara lifted her chin. Or what? Or the device learns you faster than we do. She searched his face. You're controlling my breathing. Wes. My movement. Wes. My body. His voice broke just slightly. To keep it alive. Her heart hammered. The choker pulsed in response, tightening just enough to remind her who owned the countdown. This was power, not shouted, not forced, absolute. Han Wu's fingers lifted her chin, firm but careful. You don't leave my sight. She swallowed. Even to sleep. Especially not to sleep. The beep sped up. Then settled, like the device approved. And Amara understood the truth too late. Survival now meant surrendering control to the one man dangerous enough to save her. The collar changed its rules at 3:17 in the morning. Amara felt it before Ryo said anything. A subtle tightening. Not painful, calculating. Like fingers adjusting their grip. Her pulse spiked, then steadied. Han Wu was already watching her, seated across the room, suit jacket discarded, sleeves rolled to his forearms like he'd been preparing for this all his life. Ryo's tablet chimed. Once. Then again. It's adapting, he said grimly. Biometric prioritization just activated. Amara swallowed. Explain that in human language. If your heart rate drops too low, it injects. Ryo said. If you lose consciousness, it injects. If you sleep too deeply, it injects. Han Wu finished. Silence followed. Amara laughed under her breath, shaky but defiant. So I'm not allowed to sleep now? No. Han Wu said. You're not allowed to disappear. She looked at him. Really looked. He hadn't moved from that chair in hours. Neither had she. How long? She asked. Ryo checked the data. Until we override the firmware, or until the battery dies. And when does that happen? 3 days, Ryo said quietly. Maybe less. Amara exhaled slowly, controlling the tremor in her chest. The collar pulsed, satisfied. Han Wu stood. Ryo, he said. Keep working. Ryo hesitated. You're gonna have to keep her awake. Han Wu nodded once. I know. Ryo left. The doors sealed again. Now it was just them. Han Wu crossed the room and stopped in front of her. Too close. Intentionally so. Stand, he said. She did. Look at me, he added. She did that too, though it cost her more. Talk. He ordered. About what? She challenged. Anything that keeps your heart beating like that. Her lips parted. You're enjoying this power. His eyes darkened. No, I'm terrified of it. He reached out, not to her neck, but to her wrist, fingers closing around her pulse point. His touch was warm. Steady. The collar pulsed again, reacting. See, he murmured. It responds to you responding to me. Her breath hitched. Then don't touch me. That's not how this works anymore. Oars blurred into a strange, suspended intimacy. Han Wu kept her moving, slow laps across the penthouse, stretching by the windows, talking. Always talking. He asked about her childhood, her foster homes, her mother. Things he'd never been allowed to know. Each answer made her heart race. Each spike kept her alive. Cruel. Effective. Then the elevator chimed. The doors opened to reveal a woman in a dark coat, eyes sharp as cut glass. Seio Park. She took in the scene in one glance. Amara barefoot, pale, collar glowing faintly. Han Wu too close. So, Seio said dryly. You finally let someone wear your death. Amara stiffened. Han Wu didn't flinch. Do your job. A Seio approached Amara without asking permission, fingers hovering near the collar, close enough to feel dangerous. Custom toxin, she murmured. Elegant. Sadistic. Amara snapped. Are you going to help, or just admire it? Seio Yan smiled slightly. I like her. That made it worse. Because when Seio Yan turned to Han Wu, she touched his arm without hesitation. Familiar. Intimate. Like she knew exactly how much violence lived under his skin. You always did have a weakness for purity, she said softly. It makes men sloppy. Amara's chest tightened. Jealousy sharp and unwelcome. Han Wu caught it instantly. He turned to Amara, voice low. She's not what you think. Then what is she? Amara demanded. A weapon, he said. One I survived. Seio Yan's gaze flicked between them. She doesn't belong in this world. Amara lifted her chin. Neither do you. Seio Yan studied her, then nodded once. Good. She bites. She stepped back. I'll work on an antidote, but don't lie to her anymore. Han Wu didn't deny it. When Seio Yan left, the silence returned. Thicker now. Amara crossed her arms. Tell me. Han Wu exhaled. Long. Heavy. I wanted you, he said. The words landed without warning. For 2 years. He continued. Every time you walked into my office. Every time you corrected me without fear. Then why didn't you touch me? She asked. Because my world marks what it loves, he said. And I refuse to mark you. Her voice broke. Now someone else did. Wes. He stepped closer, forehead almost touching hers. And I will burn everything to undo it. Her heart raced. The collar tightened, approving the confession. Then here's my rule. Amara said. I'll follow yours. Every one of them. If you stop lying. His eyes searched her face. About what? About why me? Before he could answer, Ryo burst back in, pale. I traced the payment chain, he said. The toxin procurement. The career accounts. Amara turned slowly. What name? She asked. Ryo hesitated. Then said it. Darius Brooks. The world stopped. Amara whispered. That's my father. The collar beeped. Louder this time. Like it agreed. The name didn't fade. It stayed suspended between them like smoke that refused to clear. Darius Brooks. Amara didn't sit down. She didn't cry. She didn't scream. She went very still. That's not possible, she said quietly. My father disappeared when I was 12. He left us with nothing. Ryo didn't look away this time. He left with millions. The words hit harder than any slap. Ryo projected the data onto the glass wall. Transactions, shell companies, offshore accounts. Dates stretching back decades. The same signatures, the same laundering patterns. He worked for the Kang family. Ryo continued. Financial consultant. Clean hands. Dirty math. Amara's ears rang. Han Wu hadn't moved. His face was stone, but his eyes told a different story. Recognition. Guilt. He helped Min Jun fake his death. Ryo said. Moved money. Covered trails. When Min Jun vanished, your father vanished too. Amara turned slowly to Han Wu. You knew, she said. No, he answered immediately. I knew someone helped him. I didn't know it was him. Her laugh was sharp and ugly. You don't get credit for not knowing which man ruined my life. Ryo swallowed. There's more. Of course there was. The money your father stole. Ryo said. Was never recovered. Min Jun's been hunting it for years. Amara's voice barely worked. So I'm what? Collateral? No. Han Wu said. She rounded on him. Then what am I? He didn't answer fast enough. Ryo did. You're the invoice. The room seemed to tilt. Amara staggered back a step, the collar tightening instantly, punishing the sudden drop in her vitals. She grabbed the edge of the table to steady herself. He sold me. Her voice cracked, not with fear of death, but with something older. Deeper. My entire life, she whispered. He vanished. I told myself he had a reason. I told myself he loved me. Han Wu stepped forward. Amara. Don't, she snapped. Don't comfort me in the world that created him. The engraved date burned in her mind now, ugly and precise. October 3rd, her first day at Seio Tech. The day she became visible to Woo Kang. The day she became valuable, the necklace wasn't romantic, she said, the realization slicing through her. It was timing. Yes. Han Wu said quietly. He chose me when I became your weakness. Han Wu closed his eyes once. That was answer enough. Amara's grief ignited into fury. She turned on him fully now. Your empire did this. Your blood laws, your wars. My father didn't become a monster in a vacuum. He learned how to survive in your world. That doesn't make you disposable, Han Wu said. It makes me dead, she shot back. Because of you. The words landed like bullets. Amara turned and walked toward the exit. The collar pulsed violently. A sharp tone cut through the room. She gasped as the pressure tightened, breath catching painfully. Geo. Fence breach. Han Wu was at her side instantly, catching her before her knees buckled. Don't move, he ordered, panic breaking through his control. You can't leave the radius. She shoved him weakly. Even my escape belongs to you. He didn't argue, because it was true. Tears finally spilled, hot and furious. I was never supposed to matter, she said. I was supposed to be nothing, and now I'm a bargaining chit. You matter, Han Wu said. To who? She demanded. To the man who abandoned me, or the man whose enemies want me dead. The collar beeped again, reacting to her racing heart. Han Wu did something she never expected. He dropped to one knee. Not in apology, not in submission, in oath. I will burn my empire, he said, voice steady and lethal. Every name, every territory, every throne. Amara stared at him. I will not let them collect you, he continued. Not as payment. Not as revenge. Not as leverage. Her chest heaved. You can't promise that. I can, he said, because I don't need it if it costs you. Silence swallowed the room. Ryo's tablet chimed. Once. Then twice. He looked up, face pale. Coordinates just activated. Han Wu stood, already shifting into command. Oakland Warehouse District. Ryo said. Old territory. Amara's blood went cold. That's where he died, Han Wu said. No, Ryo corrected softly. That's where he wants you to watch him live. Han Wu turned to Amara. His eyes dark with something dangerously close to regret. He wants you there, he said. He wants you to see me lose. The collar beeped again, slow, anticipatory, like it was counting down to a performance. Oakland burned differently at night. No glass towers. No polish. Just rusted warehouses, broken streetlights, and shadows that remembered blood. Daesung's SUVs rolled in silent formation, headlights cutting through fog like knives. Men spilled out, dressed in black, weapons raised, sealing the perimeter with practiced precision. Han Wu stood at the center of it all. Still, lethal, eyes fixed on the warehouse ahead. Amara was beside him. The collar pulsed against her throat, slow and deliberate, like it was savoring the moment. He wants an audience, she said quietly. Yes, Han Wu replied. And he wants you afraid. She lifted her chin, then he picked the wrong night. They breached the warehouse in seconds. Inside, the smell hit first. Oil, metal, and old fear. A single spotlight flickered on. In the center of the concrete floor sat a man bound to a chair. Darius Brooks. Amara's breath left her body. Her father looked smaller than memory. Older. Thinner. His eyes lifted when he saw her, filling instantly with tears. Amara. He croaked. I. A slow clap echoed from the shadows. Well done, a voice said lightly. Family reunions are always so emotional. Kang Min-jun stepped into the light, gun in hand. Smile easy. Eyes cruel. Little brother, he said to Han Wu. You came right on time. A Min-jun's gaze slid to Amara's neck. Ah. Still ticking. Beautiful craftsmanship, isn't it? A Han Wu moved forward, weapon raised. Let her go. Min-jun laughed. You always did misunderstand the rules. He gestured casually with the gun. The collar isn't unlocked by force. Or codes you can crack, it's keyed to guilt. Amara's heart raced. The collar tightened. Min-jun continued, almost bored. The unlock sequence is long. Dates, accounts, names. Only one man knows it. His eyes flicked to Darius. Amara turned to her father, rage and grief colliding violently inside her chest. "You did this," she said. "You sold me." Darius sobbed. "I was trying to survive. They would have killed me. So you let them kill me instead," she snapped. Han Wu stepped between them. "Amara, don't." Min Jun's gun swung toward him instantly. This is her moment." Han Wu lowered his weapon slowly. "Run," he ordered Amara without looking back. "Get out of the radius." She stared at him in disbelief. "You think I'm leaving you?" "You don't belong here?" he said. "You were never meant to be part of this." She shook her head. "I'm done being passed around like property." Min Jun grinned. "Good. I love character growth." Amara walked up to her father and crouched in front of him, forcing him to meet her eyes. "You abandoned me when I was a child," she said. Voice steadied despite the tremor in her hands. "I spent years wondering what I did wrong." Darius shook his head violently. "Nothing. You did nothing." "You abandoned me again when you chose money over my life," she continued. "But you don't get to do it a third time." The warehouse was silent except for the caller's soft beep. "Give me the code," she said. Darius broke. He sobbed out numbers. Dates, names. Each one another betrayal carved into sound. Amara memorized them with terrifying calm. Min Jun watched, amused. "Touching. Truly." Amara turned to him. "Your mistake," she said. "Was thinking I'd beg." She stepped toward the control console mounted near him. Min Jun raised his gun. But Han Wu was faster. A single shot rang out, grazing Min Jun's arm. Chaos exploded, gunfire, shouting, bodies moving. Amara slammed her hands onto the console and entered the sequence with shaking fingers. Her heart pounded. The collar tightened painfully. Final entry, emergency unlock. The collar beeped once, long and sharp. Then it released. Metal hit concrete. The sound echoed like a prison door slamming shut. Amara gasped, hands flying to her throat, collapsing to her knees. Han Wu was there instantly, pulling her into his arms, shielding her with his body as if bullets still existed. "You're free," he whispered into her hair. "You're free." Min Jun screamed in rage as he was dragged back by Dae Sung's men, blood staining his sleeve. Sirens wailed in the distance. Red and blue lights flooded the warehouse. FBI. Agent Claire Morrison stepped inside, eyes sharp, badge visible. Her gaze went straight to Amara. "Mom," she said firmly. "You're coming with us." Han Wu released Amara slowly. For one breathless second, she thought he might fight it. Instead, he leaned in and pressed his forehead to hers. "No one owns you," he murmured. "Not him. Not me." Then he kissed her. Brief, fierce, unforgettable. When Amara turned back, Woo Kang was already gone, vanished into shadow, like a king slipping away before the cage closed. Protective custody felt like another collar. The room was clean. White? Quiet. Too quiet. Amara stared at the ceiling for hours at a time, listening to footsteps outside her door, phones that rang only when permitted, answers that came edited and thin. They called it safety. They called it protocol. But safety without choice was still a cage. She ate because they told her to. Slept when the lights dimmed. Spoke only when questions were asked. Her body was free, but her heart was starving. Han Wu was nowhere. No messages. No trace. And somehow, that hurt more than the collar ever had. 3 weeks passed like that. Then one night, the door opened without warning. Seio Yan stood there, coat dark, eyes sharp as ever. "You're not being protected anymore," she said calmly. "You're being observed." Amara's pulse spiked. "By who?" Seio Yan's lips curved slightly. "Not the government." They left before anyone noticed. Moving through shadows. Slipping past rules that were never meant to hold people like them. Amara was brought to a quiet apartment overlooking the river. Han Wu was waiting, no guards. No weapons in sight. No commands. He stood when she entered, hands empty, posture careful. Like a man approaching something fragile. "You're free," he said softly, "so I need to ask." Her breath caught. "Do you still choose me?" he continued. "When you're free to walk away." Amara didn't answer right away. She crossed the room slowly, placed her hand over his heart. Felt it beat, strong, real, unguarded. "I choose you," she said. "Because you never tried to own me. You fought so I could decide." He exhaled, something in him finally unclenching. 6 months later, Paris felt like rebirth. Morning light through open windows. Coffee on the stove. Quiet laughter. No alarms. No countdowns. Han Wu learned softness there. Learning French badly, reading poetry loud like it mattered. Amara wore a ring on her finger. Not a lock. An engraving inside read a single word: choice. Because love earned was never about possession. It was about freedom and staying anyway. If this story touched your heart, subscribe to Love and Loyalties and comment which couple you want next.